Excellence is also the significant contribution of culture to the integration of societies and to the socioeconomic development in general, and to poverty alleviation through job creation and social inclusion in particular, has been undoubtedly evident time and again. Taking all this into consideration, the AU has not only included culture in all major development blueprints, such as the Lagos Plan of Action, which is 1980 to 2000, and also the African Union Agenda 2063. The AU has also adopted various instruments pertaining to culture, including the Africa Charter, the Charter for African Cultural Renaissance, 2006, the AU Plan of Action on Culture and Creative Industries, 2008, the Statute of the African Audiovisual and Cinema Commission, 2019, and the AU made a model law on the protection of cultural property and heritage, and these just only to mention a few of our legal instruments. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, one of the major activities of the theme of the year is the organization of the second biennial of Luanda, which is a Pan-African Forum on a Culture for Peace to be held in Luanda, Angola in October 2021. And this relates very closely to what we are discussing since the beginning of this meeting. This is the second Luanda Biennial that we are now preparing ourselves to have it with the government of Angola. The 34th ordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of States and Government of the African Union, held on 6th and 7th of February 2021, and adopted a decision calling upon all AU member states to support and participate in the second Luanda Biennial. The Luanda Biennial on a Culture for Peace is an initiative of the government of Angola, working in collaboration with the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, and the African Union Commission. So the initiative started only between Angola and UNESCO, but now it is an African Union initiative. The Luanda Biennial Initiative reinforces the implementation of the goals 16 and 17 of the United Nations Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development and the 7 aspirations of the African Union Agenda 2063. In particular, it is Silencing the Guns by 2020 initiative, which has been extended for 10 years. Now it will be till 2030. And the implementation of the Charter for African Cultural Renaissance. The aim of this Luanda Biennial for the Culture of Peace is to work towards a daily and sustainable individual and collective appropriation and implementation of the concept of a culture of peace, which consists of values, attitudes, and behaviors that reflect and promote and sharing based on the principles of freedom, justice, and democracy. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I should also mention here one of our flagship projects at the African Union, which is the Great Museum of Africa. It's as a specialized AU agency in Algeria. This museum is going to be launched in this month of July. We are just waiting for the confirmations from the government of Algeria. And this is one of our flagship projects that's been endorsed by our heads of states and governments 3 years ago, and we have been working on it as a specialized or as a mandated department, but hoping that it will be launched in Algeria by the end of this month. The Great Museum of Africa will serve as a hub for African cultural renaissance by strengthening the role of culture in promoting peace and good governance, as well as a platform to showcase dynamic values of the African cultural heritage that promote human rights, social cohesion, and human development. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the main challenge we have in the area of arts and creative industry sector is funding. And in Africa, the scenario is more challenging as member states do have other key and essential priorities for the well-being of the peoples, including the social services challenges, such as health, education, water, nutrition, infrastructure, energy, security, and other services that can be considered basic services. We are still having these challenges in many member states. So for these member states, culture is not a priority, and we need to look for ways and how to make it a priority, how to link the importance of culture and how to relate it to even creating jobs, to the development of creative industry, And this, I can say that we are at the beginning, but we have a clear vision on it, and we have a project that we are working on now with Afro-Exim Bank on developing the creative industry sector in Africa.